Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video I'm going to be doing a sweat-proof soft glam festival look. I had to remember how, I had to make sure I got that right. Obviously I'm not sure of the audience that my channel pulls in. I'm sure it's more maturer people, as I am a mature lady myself. So I know that you're probably thinking this would be a waste of footage maybe, because who goes to festivals at our ages? Some might do still, and that's all good if you're still going to festivals. There's lots of festivals going on in the summer, Coachella being one of them, and as a practicing makeup artist I just like to try new looks. That's my main reason of doing it, just to get my practice in on these kind of festival looks. Now it is a sweat proof base look, so if you are not obviously interested in going to a festival, then listening to the base part of the application I think would benefit anyone who's going to a hot country in hot weather and they want their makeup to stay put all day. Then I still think this would really benefit you. So hope you enjoy it. If it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to press the notification bell button so you'll know every time I upload a video. And it is the half term here in England, so you may hear some slight background noise. I've already done all my skincare prep. The only thing I haven't done yet is prime my face. But before I do that, I want to do my brows off camera, so I'll be back in a second. So for brows, I went in with the Unbeliever Brow by L'Oreal, just because if you're going to be in a lot of heat, then I would definitely recommend this product for your brows. It is sweat proof, waterproof, and it doesn't budge off your eyebrows all day. So I went in very lightly with this. I don't do too much to my brows. It is tricky to work with. If you're a pencil kind of person who just uses pencils for their brows, then I think this might be a little bit more tricky to use. It is more like a gel. I'm working with a little bit of glitter today, so I want to do my eyes first. We're not going to be doing a heavy makeup look, so the trick is to keep it as light as possible, because the more product you put on your face, it will separate, you'll become more oily, and it just won't look good at the end of a long party day. You want to use minimum product, but make sure everything is set and won't budge for the rest of the day. That's my take on it anyway. For eyes, I'm going to be dipping into the Huda Nude palette because I want kind of a pink background on the eyes. I'm going to be using the Revolution Conceal and Define concealer for this. I only use the Revolution for as a base for my eyeshadow, or for cutting the crease, just because if I was to use it as a normal concealer, it's way too thick and not hydrating enough for our mature under eye area. So I'm just blending this concealer in to start with. I'm just trying to decide which colour to start in. So I'm going to go in with Lace first, which is the Mauvey pink. So I do want the background to be mainly a rose pink colour and not brown. I've been doing a lot of brown looks lately, so I want to try and keep clear of that. So I'm just going to start off by putting Lace. And I haven't used my Huda palette for a while. I haven't used tape today obviously, but I can always sharpen it up with a wet wipe. So just going in with this first colour, Lace, putting it mainly all over, but not taking it up to the brow, just in the centre, in the crease, and blending it in. I've just zoomed you in a little bit so you can get a bit of a better idea of what I'm doing with the eyes. I don't think I sound like I'm full of energy today, like my usual bubbly self. I am, but I think I've been coming across that I'm shouting on camera, and I don't like to be a really loud person. Although I am a loud person, I just feel like I'm really shouting on camera, and I want to just bring down the tone. Smaller brush, which is just a small pencil brush by Makeup Addictions. I think I'm going to go in on the outside with Raw, which is this colour here. Just placing it on there at the minute before I blend. So I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics tiny blending brush and just lightly soften that up. Going in again with Raw. I'm not too worried about the edge because I'm going to be cleaning it up with a wipe anyway. And then just go back in with that first brush. Just give it a small blend. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to lay down some glitter glue for my pigment or This is by Kama Cosmetics, and I'm using Diamond Dust because I haven't played with that pigment yet. I don't want to do a cut crease because that's just too harsh for the look that I'm going for. So I'm just going to be placing it on gently to give the eye some sparkle. I'm just patting that pigment primer down. So this is in Diamond Dust. And I'm going to use the same brush I applied the pigment primer by NYX. It's so, I mean, this could almost look like a glitter in my opinion. It's a very, very glittery pigment. We'll see how it goes. First time using it. I am expecting some fallout because it's so fine. And already I know the inglot does show up a lot more than this. But it might be perfect for the look that I'm looking for. It's flying around everywhere. So it's more like a topper, I suppose. And I always take it a little bit above my crease so you can see it more. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of liner on the outer part of my eye. I'm not going to go all the way in. It is definitely like a diamond finish. It's very like glossy looking instead of really opaque. Like the inglots are really opaque. This is more sheer, but I really like it because it's not over the top. It's just, you know, you could use this on proms. So I'm just taking the Kat Von D liner and I'm only doing half, so not going on the inner corner at all with the black. Liner is now on, so I'm going to wipe away with my wipe and just carefully sharpen up that edge. That's it. I had a really good skin week a couple of weeks ago. My skin was looking quite clear, and now I feel like I'm going back to being blotchy and red. So it could be that I'm trying out a new retinol, which I'll be coming up in one of my future videos very, very soon. I'm trying a new brand called the Inky List. I don't use it every night, but I'm using it every other night, and I think that's probably what's causing my skin to look a little bit worse than what it normally does. I only started about a week ago, so yeah, it's going to take a little while for my skin to get used to it, so I'm going to persevere and see how that goes. So for primer, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I do find this has a lot more grip than other primers that I have. Just pressing that in to make sure everything gets soaked in. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Backstage Face and Body because it is waterproof and sweat resistant. And then for giving it just a little bit more of a mattifying effect, I'm going to be going in with the YSL All Hours. I'm not going to be using a whole bunch of these foundations. My aim is not to completely be full coverage cake foundation. If you're going to be working or dancing about in hot weather with a lot of people, you just want to try and keep it as minimum as possible. So and that goes the same if you're going on a holiday where you're going somewhere hot. You know, try and keep the foundation as light as possible. I could use just this and know that my face will look really nice, but for longevity of it, I want to add the YSL. This here, and this is also a tad lighter as well. And then using my brush, I'm going to be working from the outside in, so you want the most product to be on the perimeter of your face. I'm not an oily person, so for all the oily people out there, don't put as much product in the T-zone area, and that will help keep the oil at bay. I still haven't found anything which beats the Dior Face and Body. I haven't. It's my favourite foundation. So the first step to keeping your makeup on as long as possible is to set each step with powder. So my Charlotte Tilbury just broke on me. I don't know if that's a common thing. I'm sure I remember someone saying that they kept buying these flawless finish powders and they kept breaking at some point. Mine broke. I am still using it, but I won't be using it for this video. So I'm just going to be using some of my RCMA powder. I'll just use this big fluffy brush. This is the full powder brush by EcoTools. EcoTools are a really good alternative to expensive brushes. So I'm going to just lightly dust this on my face first. This is before concealer, so we're just setting each step. So I'll be setting my foundation, then I'll be setting the concealer. I don't know if I'm sounding a little bit condescending, like I'm a complete expert. You guys know I'm not a complete expert. I don't try and act like I'm makeup by Mario, not yet anyway. So the face is looking really nice at the moment. It's not looking cakey. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of foundation. The only thing that you can see is probably my double chin. Now with concealer, I'm going to be using my Hello Fab by First Aid Beauty, my favourite concealer at the moment. Still really enjoying it. And I'm just going to be highlighting in my usual places, and then just blend this in gently. I always like to use my Zoeva 322 brow line brush to go on the outside. So I pick up the excess product of concealer and then quickly sharpen that line before I get close to it, otherwise you'll mess it up. So the only powder I trust near my eyes is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush powder. I never say that right, but you know what I'm talking about. And I just lightly tap into it with a brush like this, and then very, very lightly try and set under the eye. And that's only because if I don't tend to set under my eye, but if it's hot, you find your mascara, your eyeliner is transferring on the bottom part of your face. So you do have to do this step. And so far that's looking not too bad. What I normally tend to do is just work that concealer so good into the skin that I don't need it to be set in, especially the Too Faced one, that doesn't need to be set at all. The First Aid one, I don't need to set it, but in this occasion, for the purpose of this video, you really do want to. I mean, I've actually never used the Charlotte Tilbury powder with the First Aid concealer. So if I've actually found a powder and concealer which work together under the eyes, then we are winning. For contouring, I'm going to be using not a cream today. Yes, I prefer cream contour for an event, so you can either go in with a cream contour or a powder contour, but for me today I'm going to be using a powder. I'm going to be using my old Bahama Mama, which I haven't used for so long, and because I'm running out of bronzers and I'm getting really tired of the Physicians Formula one for some reason, I went back to this yesterday and I thought I really do enjoy this still, so I'm going to start using it again because otherwise I'm just wasting it. And I love the tone of it. It's a really, really nice cool tone bronzer, and this is very pigmented, so you can go in heavy if you're not careful. And this brush I always find to give me a good precise contour. This is the Bare Minerals Flawless Face brush. Switch brushes to give it a more all over bronzed effect. I'm going to take it on around my forehead. For a little bit of a glow, I'm going to be using my Becca palette. Hooray! I'm going to be going in with this bronzy shade here over the top. Go back in with my small powder brush and just lightly sweep up the cheeks to give it a glow. I might just give my bronzer a little bit more of a glow. Then blusher, I think I used a MAC one. My MAC Patrick Star collab. If you see Patrick's video on the Patrick Tar collection, looked pretty amazing, but very expensive. So just a light dust of blush, and then I want to set again before I go in with highlighter. This time I'm going to use my big gigantic brush. This is by the Vintage Cosmetic Company. Also good brushes. I like that. It's huge, ain't it? I'm using this size because I'm not concentrating of where I want the powder to go. I'm just dusting it on the face, and you just know that your makeup isn't going to go anywhere. So going back to under the eyes, I'm going to be going on the outer part of my lower lid with the Rimmel 24 Hour Ultimate Wear Kajal liner, and I'm just lightly putting it on the are freaking amazing. It is so good. This is amazing. And then back in with Raw, I'm going to take that on the lower lash line. And then just blending that in. Going in with some Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And yes, we will be applying lashes. I still do rate this mascara. I'm definitely going to try the Lancome Monsieur Big. But my Stila beats this one. But I've almost run out. Before I continue with highlighter, I'm going to apply the magic part now. So these glitters, these are chunky glitters, iridescent chunky glitter by Charisma Cosmetics. I think I got these from Amazon, and this one's by Some More Beauty. So two different brands. Any chunky glitter, there's so many brands out there who do things like this, so you won't be stuck for choice. This is like a pinky silver one, and this one's like an iridescent one. I've already laid some glue on the inner corner, ready for it to stick. But I just want something wet to pick up the products. And I'm just basically placing them randomly. I'm not going to stick them on individually. I've not got time for that today. And they will fall. If they do fall in a certain place, look at that. I'm going to look like a proper mermaid today. If they fall in a place you don't want them to fall, but they can be fiddly. And if you try and scrape it off, you'll ruin your makeup. So you will need tweezers. In fact, I'm going to have to stick some pink in there to go with the eye look. I know I am. Has to be bold for the festival. I'm just going to place that over the top and then move any I don't want with tweezers. That's what I want. And once these lay down, they do really stick very well to the body. They are for the face and body, so. And then, just because I want to be crazy, I'm going to add some of my glitter eyes glitter, and this is in the shade Barely There. So this is a really fine glitter, just to add in between those gorgeous colours. Okay, so going back to highlighting, I'm gonna spray my face first with the Too Faced. And I don't want to get these yet because they're still probably drying down. So I'm just going to hide my face. I'll use the Sarazar Moonlit Opal. This is just a nice bright coloured highlighter, but it's just there for a base basically. Again, these are very similar to the Artist Couture highlighters. They're a loose powder and they are blinding. So you just have to go in very, very lightly. Just blend that in so it melts into the skin. So once again, when it comes to applying the glue, you're not going to disturb your highlighter. You want to just pat gently. So I think I will use the chunky pink ones first. Place them here. And you want to do this before the glue dries. It's so easy. Obviously I'm not being extra precise with them. I'm just stamping them on where the glue is on my face. And I won't put any of the fine glitter on this piece, just because we don't need to. Finish off with a nude lip and put some lashes on, and I'll be back in a second. So this is the finished look, guys. I've stuck on some lashes from Doll Lash Beauty in the style Jerry today, and finished off with Gerard Cosmetics Kimichi Doll as the first colour on the lips, and then went over it with Kiko Milano, my lovely pink sparkle gloss. It's a nice look. I do really like it. I wish I was young enough to wear this all the time, just like this, living the life of a mermaid and pulling this kind of look off. I really do, but no, I just wanted to try it out, do something different. I did do a festival look last year, not as nice as this. I think I've improved my skills since then, as everyone does. I think it's amazing how you see over a period of time people improve their talent as time goes on. For me anyway, I've definitely improved a lot since a year ago. I love this look. I did finish off with applying some of the Hourglass powder. I would recommend that as a last minute if you wanted to make sure that everything is nice. I wouldn't necessarily go over the glitter parts of the face in case you do maneuver them in some way, but just set in a little bit of powder so everything's in place. And then for the last touch, to go in with some Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and then you know you're going to be set for the day. So even if you don't take on board the glitter, the chunky glitter, the festival look, you can definitely still do the same technique, same order of products I used to make sure you have a really long lasting day of makeup, especially if you know you're going to be going somewhere really hot. So I hope it's helped you guys out. Please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon with another video.